someone. I was like, yo, what if just one dude just took out Patrick Mahomes and they took the 15-yard penalty? Like, I was getting caught up in that kind of discourse. And then this one sports reporter was like, Patrick Mahomes, did you hear Rihanna said she thinks you're, like, cool and stuff? And he was like, oh, really? Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice, yeah, I love Rihanna. Love the music. And the guy was like, I'm just kidding. She didn't say that.
For me to poop on. Like, literally, that was triumph, dude. That was awesome.
But he was literally just like, I'm just kidding. She didn't say that. And he was just like,
okay.
Hey, man, why would you do that?
Yeah. How? I didn't know it could hurt this much.
Why would you do that? That's what I always say, dude. Like, people who aren't, and don't get me wrong, everyone's funny to a degree. You're not allowed to tell people they're not funny, but so everyone's funny to a degree.
Yeah, everybody's special.
Yeah, dude, I did that at fucking Christmas one time with my parents, where we were talking about, because I shit on, what the fuck was it? Oh, you remember that show with Ashton Kutcher and the guy with the cool Southern voice? It was like The Ranch. I was just shitting on it.
Oh, Sam Elliott. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just.
You know, it's so funny. I see that, and I would go, who the fuck is watching this?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. The three other people in my family. That's who's watching it. And we were like, my dad. It was like Christmas a couple years ago. My dad goes to like turn it on, and I go. I was like, yo, fuck Sam Elliott, like being a good actor, then participating in this slop. And then like they got really mad. And I go, no, I was like, it's fine if you guys like this, but this is bad entertainment. This is bad. And then they're like, I made the comment, I go like, you know, and this is like what, 6-7 years in the comedy. I was like, I don't know. I might have the more seasoned opinion on comedy in the room. I've only been going out multiple nights a week for almost a decade, trying to figure out how to be as funny as humanly possible. And dude, the look on my family's faces was insane. And I just go like, I get it. It's not like it comes off. It's like if someone were to be like, I'm actually really smart, and it's like, you know, that's not it comes off bad. You know, to other people and shit like that. Like, you're not supposed to say stuff like that about yourselves. But, you know, it's just like, do the math. Like, just do the math. Yeah. I've been going out multiple times a week, actively trying to figure out how to be funnier. And it's like, no, you know, my brother who works at a bank, he's really got his finger on the pulse of comedy. That's why he loves The Ranch with Sam Elliott and Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, every time I saw that, I never put much thought into it besides literally just who is watching this. Like that was it. Like, and not even in a like who the fuck is watching this shit, but like who is this for?
Like a toned down no. Who is watching this?
Like, who is this for? Like, because I didn't think. Because, like, exactly.
I think it's the same reason people love. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I thought the same thing with Young Sheldon. Young Sheldon was another one. I
did that the other night.
I was like, really? And then somebody says they like it. I'm like, oh, you?
I came back from the club the other night, and I just go, I'm like looking for something on HBO, and HBO has Young Sheldon. And I literally threw that shit on, and I just go, okay, let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Let's see what you fucking got. And
yeah,
I watched an episode of Young Sheldon, and it's like, I don't know, if you're not... I think I'm trying to say this without being condescending, because I think the people who like Young Sheldon are the same people that like fucking make sure the country runs smoothly. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not. It's just a preference thing. Do you know what I mean? Wait, which one are we doing?
What?
Which one are we doing right now?
No More Heroes.
Okay.
Don't worry, we won't do a whole hour preamble.
No, I thought you got me without. If for some reason you watch this one and you don't watch another podcast that my friend here, Andy, and I do, Drag the Lake, that's a running bit with the can opening. But I'm not doing it here. I ain't doing it here. But look at the guy's shirt. I'm not giving away. But the Young Sheldon fan, it's just preference. It's subjective. I'm learning a lot in my years doing comedy and trying to be funny and stuff like that. Like lots of, let's say, what's it called? Trial and error. Lots of errors. Not as many trials.
Wait, what are errors?
Mess ups.
Sorry, I was thinking. Oh, mess up. Sorry,
I don't know. Trials is good.
Well, no,
I guess trials is bad too, isn't it?
I was zoning out because I was thinking about because it is you don't want to be like condescending, but you are legitimately like, yo, dude, I'm not trying to be a dick. Who likes Big Bang Theory? Who likes and I think it's people who go like
Minion fans.
They don't wanna. There's a lot. People don't. I think with us, like with comedians, like you're a guy who you won't plan to smoke a retarded amount of weed every day. But if it happens, you'll go, let's fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
If someone shows up, like you're not planning to do mushrooms today, right?
No.
What if Nate and Lemaire popped in and were like, Pat, you trying to do some mushrooms? You're gonna go, fuck it, let's do some mushrooms.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people aren't like that. I think a lot of people
unemployed.
What?
There's not enough unemployed people out there.
Yeah, Pat, they don't have the balls to do mushrooms at 2 in the afternoon on a Wednesday.
You know what it is? You just figured out that we got to it way quicker than I thought. Young Sheldon, Big Bang Theory, these are shows for employed people. Or employable people.
Well, no, you're being funny, but there is something to that where it is like, imagine you have 3 kids. You're working 40, 50 hours a week. You come home. You're being a good parent, spending time with your kid. You're trying to make sure they have a good dinner, and you're like actually making their dinner. You're doing all this shit. On the weekend, you're waking up early, taking them to baseball practice, football practice, whatever the fuck it might be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to go cheat on your wife. You're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. You're going to those massage parlors.
And then it's time to sit down and watch a TV show. And then you're just like,
I don't want to think.
You're like, do I watch this FX show that'll make me remember how bad my childhood was? Or do I go watch Young Sheldon and just not? Bro, I do it where I've caught myself being like actively scrolling through Instagram because I know it'll just turn my brain off.
Yeah.
I don't even care what I'm scrolling. I just go, I just need to not be, because it's like, it's that fucking Doug Stanhope bit that I love so much where he's like shitting on people who be like, oh, you need to drink to have fun. And he's like, he has the line where he's like, you ever try to go to sleep early sober? He's like, it's fucking impossible. You're trying to like get up early for a flight and your brain's just going like a mile a minute and you're thinking about your ex-wife and she's like in your head like, you never took me to the botanical gardens, and then all this other fucking shit going on in your head. And it's just like, yeah, sometimes you want something that'll just turn everything off.
Yeah. It's a thing that I think with Big Sheldon. And I say like Minions fans, but
Sheldon?
Yeah.
Sheldon.
Is that what I said? Oh, Young Sheldon.
Old Sheldon from down the block.
oh, Big Shelly. But there's like...
Big Sheldon the plug.
These are also like jokes that you can... I say employed people, but it's also like these are jokes you can take to work the next day. Like you can say like, oh, did you see when Sheldon, he was trying to get that Green Lantern thing? Now I'm back to old Sheldon. He's trying to buy that Green Lantern comic book, but then the other guy bought. Remember? I can't remember. I wish I knew another character's name.
Dude, well, whoever makes
who the hell else is Sheldon? That's why they make Young Sheldon.
What?
I said I can't think of any of the other characters' names.
Oh, Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That hot girl.
Indian guy.
Yeah, Indian guy.
Jewish guy.
Yeah.
Vague white.
And then they go.
And then Kaylee Cuoco. I'm currently watching a show with her, so I know her name.
I like it because I can watch with my kids, and it feels like we're learning. You know?
Also, we don't have kids, but can I say this? Show your kids stuff with curse words and shit. It's like, dude, my favorite memory ever with my dad is I was way too young, and he showed me Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I didn't even know half the jokes because I didn't know most of the slurs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why this is funny, but that guy's farting.
Bro, like, don't get me wrong. Like, definitely, you know, if it's like sexual matter or like over the top death or whatever. But it's like, honestly, at a certain point, just show your kids the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Go to facesofdeath.com and just... Let's just get them sensitivities down. You know what I mean? Let's just get it right down so that way when they see the horrific news, they're not going to be like, oh, what the? They're going to be like,
Well, the thing
You think that's bad?
the thing I've realized with kidnapping children is
Yeah?
when I'm showing them movies.
Yeah.
No, the thing with kids, it's like it's about what they understand. So like when they're younger, you slow roll shit that's like too complex for them. But like if it's just curse words and like, you know, crude humor, it's like you do what my dad did. Is
Yeah.
you say you fuck my mouth and say don't tell your mother. No, I remember I used to, and it pains me to see him becoming so gay in modern times. But you know Christopher Titus, he had a show back in the day.
Titus.
That was.
Oh, sorry.
I knew
Sorry.
that. No. Let's be clear. I knew the name. It was for the bit. But no, Titus had his show Titus back in the day.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one joke where what the fuck? You know the like one of the classic racist jokes where it's like, what do you do if you ever see a TV floating?
No.
You never heard that
No,
racist
I
joke?
haven't heard that one, no.
You never see like
Wow, I haven't heard this one.
what do you do if you see a TV floating?
I don't know what.
You say drop it, N-word.
Oh, because it's dark.
That's a joke I heard, and when I heard it, I go, that's a bad joke.
Don't say that again.
I don't like that joke. I'm going to repeat it on the podcast to let everyone know how much I don't like that joke.
Don't ever say that joke.
And there was a joke in that, like, in that realm. I forget exactly what it was. Obviously, it's a network show. He's not saying the N-word, but it was, like, in that realm.
Yeah.
And I remember I repeated it, and, like, in public, and my dad goes, what are you doing? And I go, what? It's the show we like. He goes, yeah, we watch it.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, if you're going to repeat this stuff in public, I'm not going to let you watch the show. And I go,
Yeah, big lesson. There you go.
And I was like, oh, just, you know, there's a time and place.
Right.
That's when I learned, like, oh, there's a time and place. You don't just say racist jokes in
Thursday
public.
night on Fox. Watch it. Wasn't it before The Simpsons? It was something like that.
It was always bouncing around.
It had a lot of turmoil over there in Titus.
Yeah.
Titusville.
Titus was a good show. He got by the politics. And you watch Big Red in the Morning. I'm a big politics guy. You got to learn to separate them. Dude.
The art from the artist and God from the state. What? Church and state.
Church and state. Pat.
What? I'm not as political as I like animal attacks.
Yes, welcome to the second installment of When Pats Attack. Very excited about this. Sometimes, guys, you research into New Jersey drones, and it breaks your psyche.
Yeah, but you find a silver lining. You find a new skill.
Yeah, exactly. And that skill is researching things.
Obsessing over things.
Turns out you were too good at researching, and it made you schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Did we say it on the pod? You literally were like, hey, we can do conspiracies, just not current events.
No more current conspiracies. No more current events conspiracies because they're not fun. These aren't fun. I mean, for some reason, the Kennedy assassination
Dude, that does
ages like a fine wine.
Dude, that does hit, though, when
What?
you're alone getting into a conspiracy, and you're like, this is so fun, this is so interesting. Oh, my God, that part's probably real.
Yeah, wait.
And then
hold
you
on.
just have this, like, dread over you for
Yeah.
the next 3 days?
Yeah, fake gay. Uh-oh. That's a good one. But yeah.
Uh-oh, the world's darker than I thought.
So not only did I take my research abilities into researching new people I've met in the area as well as old friends on my new show, Hey. Yeah.
Oh,
But
is that what you call friendship, researching?
Yeah. Obsessing over my friends, just going like, wow, you know what? Instead of
Like, yo, dude, I just binged a lot of Dulce.
yeah, I just go, I wonder what Dulce thinks about photography. so it's just weird. It works. But also, I was inspired recently, and we decided to dedicate a whole month, the month of love, to
Also, the guy, you didn't see this because you don't have access to the Spotify, but there's some nasty people out there.
What?
They're saying like, oh, you're doing animal attacks on Black History Month. What the hell is that nonsense?
That's in poor taste.
Get the hell out of here with
is
that noise.
Not at all. It's because of love. It's because of blood and organs that pump blood.
Yeah.
And animals that get covered in it once they turn on their handlers.
Also, we all know black people don't get attacked by animals because they can run faster than most of them.
Brother, there was There's a weird thing that I understand now. I gotta tell you, this actually taught me something because
About race relations?
Yes, I swear to God. And this is not. It's because of.
Oh, Pat, and I know what the topic is on today. You got to walk a.
I know. Just it's the.
Watch the line you're walking today, dude.
Do you remember years ago? No. This is why. Years ago, when people said something about I can't remember who it was, but somebody commented on a black athlete or black athletes and saying that they're better or they're faster.
The extra bone, right?
The extra bones, or they have fast twitch muscles.
Quick twitch muscles. Yeah, right. It was the baseball guy. I forget his name.
Mattingly? Or no. Or are you talking about the pitcher guy?
No, are you talking about back in the day?
It was like I remember in my lifetime, like I feel like within like probably the past 10 or 15 years.
Let me look that up because there was one too where
Stanley's on a fucking this is the only podcast you're allowed on. You better fucking watch it because you're on thin ice, buddy. But the fact that somebody made that comment about them the black people or black people having extra bones or extra muscles or fast muscles. One of the things in here was the comparison because we're talking about Travis the chimp that they mentioned. Be careful. What I'm saying, they mentioned the fast twitch muscles thing, and I go, oh, is that like that's probably why that was such a sensitive thing back in the day, because of like people thought that guy was comparing.
Well, I think so.
Black
Fast twitch muscles are real,
right?
But I think it was because I forget who the fucking announcer was, but
I can't remember.
He was literally saying he's like, and this is my retelling of it, but he was basically saying he's like black people have an extra bone in their foot to make them run faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I remember there being the fast twitch muscle talk.
Fast twitch muscle fiber is a thing.
But that was a thing that I was like, and I wonder if that's why. I remember somebody making that comment and somebody going like, whoa, like that being a controversy. But I didn't want to research that because that's not why we chose this. I chose it because this is another very relatable story in my case. So, do you want me to get into it?
Absolutely.
All right. So, this is the story of this. I also have been putting in my notes just a little fun theme that I noticed in each one of these. Like, in the last one was Suicide by Bear.
That would have been a way better title.
That's what I felt like. Well, I don't know if that'll help or not, but this one I entitled PTSD for everybody, because everybody involved is changed for their lifetime.
Hell yeah, dude.
Travis was born in Missouri at a chimpanzee sanctuary. This is gonna be a fun one. On October 21st, 1995. The sanctuary is the one that's responsible for a lot of the chimps actually you see in entertainment, like movies and stuff. Speed Racer, they got the chimp from this sanctuary. George of the Jungle used animals from this sanctuary, as well as...
Oh, really?
MVP, the Air Bud series?
Yeah.
When they started bringing in monkeys, they got them from the sanctuary. So
no shit.
Those are some places that... So this is a place in, like I said, Missouri. Bro... It gets terrifying from the jump. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how I try to ramp these? Like, it's kind of, I try to get to the point where, it's kind of fun in games and everything, but then eventually it gets really dark.
Yeah.
It gets kind of dark from the jump.
Yeah.
So this is a facility known in Missouri as the Missouri Chimpanzee Foundation. It's licensed since 1994 and has had multiple issues with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, citing at least a dozen violations, mainly involving cleanliness. So, also, fun little fact about the facility: chimpanzees have escaped over 3 times. I like that.
Yo, that's horrifying.
It's horrifying, but it gets worse from there.
There's always, dude. It's like I'm always like king, anti-government, yada yada yada. But there are always little things that I hear, and I just go like, my initial impulse. Like, I think if we shifted philosophically, yada yada yada, we could blah blah blah. But I'm like, right now conditions.
Yeah.
You do have that initial impulse where you're like, all right, if you're gonna do stuff, can we put a lot of money into chimp retrieval units?
Yeah, bro. You have no idea.
Those are my two big ones are building codes and chimp retrieval because it's like
fuck the roads. Well, how are we gonna build the roads,
brother? I've been driving on these dog shit Texas roads for almost a year now.
Yeah, they were not prepared for this.
I'll get a fucking truck, dude. Just make sure buildings don't just fall down. Like everyone forgets that, by the way. Like a couple years ago, remember that? Yeah, I don't. For a fucking every building I go to, I go, how's this doing?
You're hitting the wall listening to it. What's going on here?
Trying to figure out if there's a.
When was it built? Dude, I've been in elevators and I look at the thing and it says that it hasn't been. The inspection is a couple months out, and I go, I'm getting out.
What are your walls like in here? I was fucking hanging shit up in my house, and I'm like you know when you get the thing ready with the drill so you could like hammer that plastic thing in, break it, and then just put the screw in. I'm doing the drill into the wall, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like it just goes in, and I'm like, what is this made of? And I knock on it, it just echoes, and I'm like, oh, that's just the thinnest of plywood.
You got what's the fucking, god damn it, I can't think of the back rooms. You just got the back rooms back there.
Oh yeah.
You ever heard the back rooms?
Oh, was that fucking?
We can do an episode on the back rooms.
Was that documentary about the guy who was?
No, it's more paranormal, I think, maybe than you're thinking.
Oh, sorry.
That was hilarious.
I just slapped
Stanley,
his ass.
it's part of it.
Sorry, Stanley.
I gotta tell you, I got a hot fact.
Oh, bah!
A fact so hot it's gonna make you slap a cat.
I really did.
You all right, buddy?
I just slapped your butt. I'm sorry, dude.
He likes it. He's into it.
A fact so hot make you slap a cat.
But the back rooms is a paranormal thing.
I've seen the back rooms. It's like office shit where it just goes.
It goes.
Dude, I watched one of them. Like, I usually watch videos recapping those. I've watched like a backroom one on its own for like a while.
He moved away from
Moved
you.
a little closer, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh no, I thought there's this documentary about this dude who bought like a motel, and he set it up so he could walk through the ceiling from room to room. It was on It was one of the few documentaries I stopped because I was getting so disturbed.
Fun fact, that's when I started doing research. I started going, okay, so you can just get a crawl space, a two-way mirror, and then
that's when I started my
all day.
That's when I started my DIY projects.
But that's a small business thing. We don't have to get into it. Chimpanzees have escaped over 3 times, including in 2001. When a neighbor of the facility explained his experience like being in a horror movie, one of them slamming on the hood of his car, and then he feared there was 3 of them around, but one of them was like actually like he was in his car, and they all started. He was afraid that they were gonna go kill his dog, so he fucking shot that ape.
Yeah, whenever I see Chimp, you're saying he's like, oh, it's not, if it was like a horror movie.
Yeah.
People owning chimps always just feels like that category of like, stop trying to play God. These are wild animals that are 10 times stronger than you.
Right.
Stop trying to.
Stop trying to contain these.
It's just fucking like the hubris of the human race.
Well,
of like, I will subdue the wild beast.
Well, the relatable part with this is still coming up because, like, there was a lot of kind of not issues, but let's just say warning signs.
Yeah,
they didn't get the luxury, or Siegfried and Roy, when the inspiration for the whole series.
Yeah,
not anything else. there was a
not anything else particular about this month. You nasty fucks.
You fucking assholes. But there's a thing where they just went from like 0 to like 60. We find out later that maybe there were other instances that weren't reported with the Siegfried and Roy thing.
Like I was actually driving fairly reasonable.
We'll get into this, but like a spoiler alert for what's coming up. The chimp was able to drive, knew, and stole the car a couple times.
Dude,
like there was not just regular red flags, but this chip ain't right.
So I did a show at the Creek 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And in the green room, you know the green room is. In the green room, they got that TV in the Creek, and someone just put on a video of, I don't know if it was a chimp or it was like the one, like the fat chimps that always look like they should be, like if it was Planet of the Apes, they would be the elder that would say all the smart stuff. They don't actually.
The orangutans?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was an orangutan, and he was just casually driving a golf cart around a zoo. And dude, we were all mesmerized by it.
It's amazing.
Because it was like, dude, the video was literally like a 5-minute loop just playing forever. But it was like a seamless loop the way they did it. Because after like about 3 times that he drove by this tiger, we were always like, is this a loop?
Yeah.
And dude, but yeah, dude, like
same tiger.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they can. It's crazy that they can like do shit like that and just actually like drive a fucking car.
Terrible fact, but unfortunately speaks to what you were talking about, the chimp retrieval unit. This gentleman that shot the chimp did 30 days in jail and got a felony charge for a chimp attacking him or trying to attack him, essentially. Possibly attacking.
It's a felony to shoot a chimp?
Apparently. In Missouri, apparently. Another neighbor said she came home one day and found a chimp in her living room. Most of the people in the town, you ready for this, is called Festus.
What?
Festus.
The town's called
That's how
Festus?
you have to say it. Festus.
So you're telling me a town where you can just come home and a chimp's in your living room, it's called Festus?
It's also called Festus.
Festus.
Hey, welcome to Festus.
You should probably rename your town to, oh my God, there's chimps in
Oh
my
my
living
God!
room.
There was a chimp in her living room.
He's ripping off my face!
But most of the fine people of Festus, even like to even a couple, like most of the people living in the town aren't aware of the facility at all.
The chimp facility.
They have no idea that there is one
Yeah.
like in the town.
That's how I felt during COVID.
Except for the neighbors, but they only know because they found out what?
No, that's how I felt when they were talking about the lab leak theory, and then
Yeah.
you found out about gain of function research. You're like, we're doing what? We're just seeing how strong we can make diseases.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like but this was the only reason I think the neighbors know is because the apes have gotten out multiple times, or they can hear them. Like it's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
So
You gotta if you have a chimp facility, you gotta go around to every house like you're a pedophile.
There's a really yes, exactly. There's people in this town that have lived there their whole life. There's an interesting like documentary on from Barstool. Some guys from Barstool actually did one, and they talked.
Really?
They talked. It's actually really interesting. They went to try to talk to the lady who owns the facility. But they got fucking ghosted by this lady.
Like, do these chimps fart? I like Barstool. I'm fucking around.
But they actually found out, like, when they were saying, like, hey, we're going to go to this town. They had a hotel, like, an hour away.
Yeah.
And they were in contact with the lady that
No
owns the
shit.
facility. But they were, like, on their way to the facility. And when they get to the city, they couldn't she just stopped calling.
Oh, really?
Or answering. So they...
She was like, I'm sorry. I don't have a face right now. Can I get back to you?
Yeah, like when he was talking to her on the phone, he didn't have it on speaker, but he's like, "There's chimps screaming in the background." Like,
Oh, no.
like, yeah, it's like they may have gone through a thing, but he was in the town, and the people that have lived there their whole life, they're like, "What? What chimp facility?" Like even after this news is broke, and this is years later,
Really?
they had no idea that there was a chimp facility
Bro.
in their hometown of a million years.
I'd be so fucking bummed and annoyed
Yeah.
finding out there's a chimp facility in the neighborhood.
yeah.
And just like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That I've been that in danger my entire life, or however long. This guy, his whole life, he's lived in this town, and he's like, "What?
Yeah.
I had no idea." Unless they're all just awesome at like protecting this lady, and like she's got something on all of them. She's like, "If you tell anybody about my fucking monkeys,
Maybe she's like
I'll
Chimp.
burn this city down."
She's just like Chimp Epstein and has a bunch of blackmail in the whole town.
But that's current day.
Yeah.
We'll go back to, let's say, 1995. Sandra and Jerome Harold adopted him from the facility, and they brought him to live in Stamford, Connecticut, and they named him after their favorite singer, Travis Tritt.
Who?
Travis Tritt, the country singer?
Travis Tritt?
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, he's the one that does Way Down Yonder in the Chattahoochee. You don't know Travis Tritt?
Why didn't you have any confidence in that? You sounded lovely.
Oh, I had a lot of confidence in that.
Your voice got really
quiet.
Your voice got really quiet, Pat. We wanted to hear you
I don't
sing.
want to get her wet. She's right out there. Travis Tritt. No, he's the.
Stanley didn't like that.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, chill, dude."
Here's a quarter, call someone that cares. You know that song?
No.
Here's a quarter, call someone who cares.
It's a vicious burn, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
So
That's like on some, like, who sings that song? And then they tell you the name. And you're like, let's keep it that way.
yeah, I get that a lot. And I do that a lot. So, hey, if you can't dish it, don't take it. What? If you can't take it, no dish it.
Can't do the dishes, don't take it in the butt.
Tony Mercari,
Okay.
a neighbor of Harold and Sandra. Sorry, Jerome and Sandra. I keep trying to give him a normal name. He's one of the white guys named Jerome. That's so funny. It's like
White guy named Jerome?
that I don't think is Jewish also. So like
Really?
I think like this is a rare breed.
That's funny. Because you can, like, just name your kid whatever.
Yeah. This guy was they owned a towing company in Sanford, and that's the thing that I don't understand. So
They should do that, by the way.
I learned
Just a dumb thought.
No, go.
If you're like a poor white family and you don't see a lot of prospect for your kid, give them a different race's name. Because that will they've done studies that kids with interesting names go on to do more. Or maybe not all the time, because there's a bunch of like poor black kids with like 20,000 different ways of. They actually said they're like there's on record like 100 different ways of spelling unique.
Yeah. I went to school with a girl named Da Princess.
That rules.
Let's just say Da Princess, she was not.
I will say this, and I love black people so much. There's nothing that brings me more joy than fake French black people names. It's so funny.
Dumb. My wife.
Blah 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 blah. Da boy blah blah.
Yeah.
It's so goddamn. Black people fucking rule.
My wife is oftentimes like when she meets people in person that have read her name or heard about her, they just assume she's black because her name's Dominique.
They walk up to her like, "What up,
They're
girl?"
like, I've met like 3 white Dominiques my whole life. Every Dominique I know is black. Like,
Never thought about that. Yeah, not a lot of white Dominiques.
Yeah, so it worked for her.
I just feel like when you have a name that doesn't match with you racially, people treat you different. Like you're more fun than you actually are.
Yeah. So this young man, Travis, grew up here. This is the interesting thing that I found out about this.
Tell me about it.
When I knew about the original story, I've known about this since it happened, like in 2009. This has been a very morbid interest of mine.
Did you sew in your element? Sorry.
Yeah.
Like your body language now?
This is the craziest fact about this.
Okay.
I had no idea that Jerome and Sandra had children already.
They did?
Yeah.
Wait, they had. So they're
Why
not.
are you buying a monkey?
They're not. Weirdo. I want to put diapers on things still.
That's like. So I'm assuming. Again, spoiler alert. Jerome ends up passing away in 2004, I believe. Or so no, 2003.
Yeah.
Nope. 2004 is when he passed away. So they may have been up in age anyway because their son ends up passing away in 2000.
Okay.
So like I'm sure that once that happens, no parent wants to outlive their child. You know what they say. But
there is one though.
But if you got a monkey,
yeah, if you got a monkey,
yeah. Also, like there's certain times I'm sure the Menendez. I'm sure they would have rather been like, hey, if we would have known how it would have happened, I would have rather my child die first.
I think with the Menendez parents, he was like, after the 5,000th time he fucked his kid's face, he hit it. He goes, I'm probably going to have to kill him.
Maybe I should stop punishing him for putting cinnamon in my coffee by face fucking him. I should think of something else. Maybe it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So they had a kid.
So they have kids. They bought monkeys.
It must have been
wild move.
They must have been like after empty nest syndrome, and they're like, you know what? Instead of adopting a child, let's adopt a chimpanzee.
So funny. You can like do not adoption. What's the other one? You can foster kids.
Yeah.
Join the Big Brother program.
Right. There's other things, but maybe they weren't great parents. I don't know.
Maybe.
But in
maybe they didn't like their faces. And they're like, what if our faces could get ripped
too many
off?
Faces and hands around here.
I would like to eat my food through a straw.
You know when you get chapped lips, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want these things. Take them
Yeah.
off.
Every night Jerome would go to his wife. He'd be like, rip my face off. And she just couldn't.
She just couldn't meet that need.
How do we get this done?
But they raised him just like their family.
Yeah.
You know, he would go do things. He was really popular in the area. He would take pictures with the police officers and a lot of the townsfolk. He could dress himself.
Chimp?
Yeah, he ate dinner.
What?
He had with the family. I mean, he could water the plants. He would feed the horses. They were treating
Stanley's
him like
getting
a
mad
kid.
at me for slapping his butt.
Yeah, he was.
They're treating him like a kid?
Yeah, they were. He was basically doing chores.
Wait, could he ride a bicycle?
He could drive.
Oh, my God.
He could drive, and he actually would steal the car. He would know, and he would plan when the ice cream truck was coming,
Yes.
and he would have his favorite treats. Like he would go up to the. Can you imagine if that's when it happened? if for some reason one day the ice cream truck came by and was late, or like a day it didn't come on the right day or something like that.
Brother.
But or
It
didn't
could
have
have been.
didn't have a fucking cookie witch.
That's like, I mean, I get it, dude. When they don't have the right when they don't have the right ice cream sandwiches,
Yeah.
which the best ones are
Cookie witch.
cookie with the
The
with-
little chocolate around
with the chocolate around
yeah.
it.
I love a Choco Taco. R.I.P. Choco Taco.
Yeah, but Choco Tacos are still like when you just get a taco from Taco Bell, it's good in concept and then it just falls apart. But everything going in feels great. Pause.
Tony Mercuri, a neighbor of the family, he would go over and even wrestle the chimp every once in a while. And he said he was surprisingly very gentle and would even know when to hold up, not like Stanley.
Wait, and then just to double check, all white.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like I categorize as this because people always go like that's some white people shit, but this definitely falls into like. Did you ever see the post where it was like twin brothers marry twin girls and have twin babies?
Yeah.
And I was like, they were just like that's some white people shit, and I go that's those. I was like. Only white people will do that, but we ain't all doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is some shit where you're like, you're really only seeing white people do this shit. Because they have, like, fucking, where was this, Missouri?
This was, this is all happening in Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh.
Early 90s, or late 90s.
Really, this
mid to late 90s.
Connecticut behavior?
Stamford, Connecticut.
That's fascinating.
Stanford, you don't realize something about Connecticut. It's a lot of white trash in Stanford included.
Yeah.
Like there was also, damn it, I forgot.
No, yeah,
I didn't
people
get
don't realize there's some, like, shitty parts of Stamford, Connecticut.
There is a weird connection with this, and I didn't get into it, and I regret to say that to you. There is a connection somehow with Travis the Chimp in Stamford, Connecticut, and the dreaded Sandy Hook.
Oh, really?
Apparently. And I literally I'm at that part of the video to watch. I need to watch that. Like I didn't get
There
through
weren't
that
any
part.
actually dead kids. They were all chimps.
It was the sanctuary. No,
Just kidding. If there's any
that's-
Sandy Hook parents watching, like I said, there was 8 million in the Holocaust, and there was actually 80 kids at Sandy Hook. That's how I believe I believe more than you believe.
Yeah. You're not mourning enough. No, there was a there was a thing where this was what was I just saying? Oh no, there was some kind of weird practical thing where it was his family.
It was like the day of Sandy Hook. They called up Jerome. They're like, "Hey man, don't bring the monkey."
Well, well, I think possibly, and and this is just purely speculation, and what I think was actually might have happened is maybe that family was one of the people that responded to the scene.
Oh, really?
Because I'm not joking with you. Everybody that was in this, including the people that treated the victim of Travis the Chimp, all of them were given some sort of counseling, or they experienced PTSD. Like they are forever changed, and not just the lady that lost her hands. Everybody that found the people that found them.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say that's why people thought there were crisis actors at Sandy Hook because Travis showed up, and there's Can you imagine it? Can you imagine seeing pictures of Sandy Hook and there's a chimp with a fucking firefighter hat on?
Oh yeah, he drives the fire truck.
They're clearly shooting a buddy cop movie. They're actors.
This is all fake.
Like I said, I actually
Not
think
true.
it was 150 kids at Sandy Hook.
So there was also he was in commercials.
10 million in the Holocaust.
Like let's bump it up 15.
Just bump it up to 50.
Let's just to be safe. 15, 20.
50, 20.
There was he was in commercials. He was.
Sick.
I wanted to get this footage to find, but I couldn't find it right away. He was on the Maury Povich show.
No shit.
He was also in a failed pilot, which also could have led to his attack later on. Maybe he was bitter from the business. He did have substance abuse issues.
Dude, it used to be wild back. Like, we just were like, dude, chimps are chill and CTE's not real.
So
it was like so chill back in the day. And then they're like, cigarettes don't hurt you, chimps rule, CTE's not real.
And you know where those circles meet is the XFL.
Yeah, dude. And
That's when they would have like probably instead of having like a person in a chimpanzee outfit, they would have a live monkey on the field or like that. They'd be like, ah, and they'd like go like, who cares? Let's slam them. And look, there's the lingerie. You know, like it was crazy.
How much better was it to be an American before 9/11? Because like literally they
not in Sanford.
they hit the towers, and there were Americans genuinely like people just didn't. And like in their defense, that's fair. You know, the news was different back then, but like people were like, why would they be mad at us?
I gotta tell you, there even like that might have been the cause of Travis's decline as well. Maybe he just didn't like where America was headed as a country.
Really?
Could have been. He was quite the conspiracy. No. He also I forgot. I didn't list the rest of his traits. He could also form conspiracy theories. He also could he could also see that they were doing it right in front of us. So in 1996, so this is only a year after they adopted him. So I think a lot of the red flags that end up happening with Travis end up being like kind of filed in the, he's horsing around. Because in 1996, a neighbor claims that, what?
Horsing around? No, he's up to monkey business.
He's monkeying around.
It was right there, dude.
My bad. Well, he's not a monkey; he's an ape, so that's why. It's just
for the joke.
I know, but do you know what I'm doing? You know how serious I am about this?
There's a cat on the table. You're very serious about this.
I'm petting him, popping him one every time he bites my headphones. 1996, a neighbor claimed that Travis bit her and tried to drag her into a car. He's also very proficient in human trafficking. For a monkey, he's quite the coyote. You like that one? Is that a good one? Stop attacking me. I'll shoot you right in the face.
I'll slap your butt. I'll shoot you in the face.
I'll slap you right in your butt. There was no official records of this, so there may have been slight cover-ups, but...
You think he got a sweetheart deal?
Could have been. He might have been. Might have been pardoned because he was... This is the problem with law enforcement. He was in tight with a lot of these cops, and they just looked the other way.
Are we still talking about the chimp?
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, there's a lot of pictures of this particular chimpanzee with a lot of police officers. I'm just saying. This is a real blue line issue. We could have stopped this earlier.
Shit. This is why they got body cams.
Well, in 2000, like I said, their son dies in a car crash. Excuse me. That's why I'm saying, like,
he's going to get ice cream with the chimp.
He was driving.
Brother, I really think this is a good theme. I think you and me can take over the one guy does research, the other guy cracks jokes every 2 minutes podcast
I'm allowed
scene.
to joke too.
We could definitely take over this podcast scene.
I'm telling you, brother, the research era is mighty.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a great podcast format. One guy does all the work, the other guy goes, "Wait, that really happened?
What?
What the hell, dude?"
October. This is one of my favorites. This is another one. This is such a vague description, but I love this description. In 2003, October of 2003, Travis was riding in the car with Sandra. She was driving this time. He's probably also pretty male chauvinistic too, because he was obviously riled up. But someone threw something at him.
What?
Somebody in town.
Get the chimp out of the damn car.
And this is why. Goddamn lady, there's a monkey in your car.
Also, the energy of this story, I have 100% confidence they threw a tomato at him.
Yes,
There's nothing else they're going to throw at him.
A banana. Come on, it was right there. A different fruit. Sandra, so he jumped up. He jumped out of the car and chased the guy.
That's crazy.
The police were called, and then when the police, this is so funny, when the police show up, he starts horsing around again, monkeying around, if you will.
Gets into some monkey business.
He was running around the car playfully, chasing them around and doing all, but he was holding up traffic for like hours. So after this,
just running around the car.
just running around. This was like, it kind of turned into like, it was very played down.
Yeah.
But it was a story, and it was, it changed legislation.
Yeah.
Like after this, they're like, hey, now you got to have paperwork to get a monkey. You can't just go out, get a monkey. You got to let us know you're going to get one.
You got to tell us you're getting a monkey.
And it's not to ask if you can get one. They're just let us know that you got one.
Yeah.
So it's okay. All right, fine. Like I said, this incident changed the rules in Connecticut.
That's so funny.
Hey,
you got to ask now.
But the Heralds were still exempt from this because they were grandfathered in. So 2004, Jerome passes away from...
Grandfathered in's always annoying.
Why?
With certain rules, especially...
You were the reason. That's why.
Yeah, especially like owning monkey rules.
Right. You should be like, okay, and by the way, you got to re-up your monkey rights. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, we got to make sure that you know how to... You can handle this.
Yeah,
because obviously you didn't even have them fucking buckled in.
Well, that's the thing. It's like one thing if I'm trying to think of a different thing that's been like grandfathered in or whatever. But it's like there's certain things that are like low level shit where it's like, all right, that guy's been doing it that way for 30 years. He knows how to fucking do it. Let him ride it out. It's like you made the law because they don't know how to own a chimp properly. So they don't get to be grandfathered in.
Right. That's if they're the reason for the legislation, then obviously there should be no exemption. You should actually have to like relinquish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. No, 100%.
It shouldn't be like euthanasia or anything like that, but you should at least So by 2009, 70-year-old Sandra was running the family towing business by herself. And
towing business and chimp owning at 70.
Yeah,
smart
70
move.
Years, yeah, though, like out of nowhere, she's just like. And by the way, I don't think that 2009 she was doing it all by herself. I'm sure if he was dying of cancer, she was probably doing it as he was dying as well. So she's been working, the only person in this towing business, except for she is getting some assistance from her friend/employee, Charla Nash.
Can you imagine if you need your car towed and a 70-year-old shows up, you'd just be like, do you want me to do it?
Yeah. Never mind. I'll just stay here.
I'll just push my car home.
She, by the way, Charla Nash is 55.
Okay.
So like, you got one young buck. February 16th. That's a week or 9 days from now.
Yeah, Pat.
That's why. That's why. That's another reason why we're doing.
Well, that's why February.
Travis. Travis is taking to Sandra. He takes her keys.
Okay.
Again, because he's a real scam.
Again.
And since she's 70, she goes, well, he's running around with my keys. So she convinced Charla to come over and help coax because he's familiar with her. Mm-hmm. And he's comfortable with her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, okay, well, like you can come over and like she'll get the keys and I don't have to worry about him taking the fucking car again.
Yeah.
So Charla, she thought, you know what? I'm going to get one of his favorite toys, which is a Tickle Me Elmo. And then that way I'll get him to come over to me.
Yeah. Do a little Elmo action.
Too well.
Whoa.
He saw her with that Tickle Me Elmo, and boy, did he start biting, tearing, and taking her hands.
Oh, yeah, dude, because that's what they do. They get your hands and your genitals.
Well, he took a swipe, and he's like, dirty old twat. Ah! Hands, then starts going for the face. It is pretty brutal. It's very traumatic, obviously.
Yeah.
Sandra tried to save her friend, screaming at the ape, and even trying to stab Travis, which she later described because, and this is understandable, and this was at the time, like I said, in 2009, when this is happening, I'm like, I am feeling like, damn, I wasn't so much this stupid bitch.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, damn, she fucking like, however it was from 1995 to 2009.
Yeah.
No real.
Well, it's like you said,
real incident.
It's like you said with Grizzly Man.
Yeah.
You're like, it gets to a point where you're like, I can do this.
I think this lady and this monkey have this real fucking like she's. Because you look at Jane Goodall, that dumb bitch has been fucking hanging out with gorillas in the wild this whole time. But she never tried to take them home with her.
You know what drives me? You know what is so... I was about to say drives me crazy. I don't know. I meant to say, like, you know what I find so interesting? Is, like, I could see... Because that feels like Travis being like, yo, bitch, put my Tickle Me Elmo down. I could see him coming in... And it's like, yo, you've been chill with this bitch for like 15 years, dude. Yeah. And like, she's got your Tickle Me. I could see him coming in, like, pushing her down and taking the Tickle Me Elmo back. Yeah. That would make sense. It's so fascinating that, like, you turn on him and he immediately goes to biting your hands off. So, it's weird how, like, just be, you know, the chimps are very, like, he can fucking drive a car. They're smart animals. So, like, he knows when the ice cream guy's coming and shit like that. He knows good ice cream. But then it's like all that is erased.
Yeah.
If you fucking touch my Tickle Me Elmo.
Bro. Not you! Like, so it is believed, this is, the reason Travis was believed to attack was never made certain but some speculate that Charlotte is sporting a new hairstyle.
Oh.
May have confused him.
Oh, I remember hearing about this.
But then this is why, because then he thinks a stranger has one of his favorite toys.
Yeah.
And he's saying this absolute stranger. Also, I don't know if this might have had something to do with it. He also had taken Xanax.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about this too.
This is the craziest part. Xanax can help calm you down. She made him some Xanax tea earlier that day, which is probably what fired him up.
Xanax tea?
Yeah, which is crazy because she goes, one for you, one for me. Everything's fine. And then she's strung out on Xanny going, this fucking ship's running everywhere with my keys. Come over, help, bitch.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if you're coloring your hair. Come over.
That's why I always wait for the details
Allegedly.
on things, because, like, I always wait for the details on things, because, like, you hear these stories and you go, this is so crazy. Who could have seen this coming? And then once you get a minimal amount of details, you're like, how did you not think this was going to happen?
Well, when she says, like, oh, it felt like stabbing my own child, I was like, oh, my God, I can totally, that's crazy, because there's no incident. But you find out she had a child.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it's like stabbing the ape that you got after your child left.
It's like stabbing my own replacement for my child.
Right. So this is a fun thing. Xanax is confirmed in the system later on, explained by Sandra that she gave him laced tea with Xanax and to help calm him down. But this medication can also cause a paradoxical reaction, causing hallucinations, aggression, rage, and mania.
It just says on the warning label,
face ripping.
Don't feed to chimps.
Do not ever feed to a chimp unless you hate faces.
Don't give to a chimp in tea.
Yeah, please. Whatever you do, especially in February.
What if it wasn't the Xanax? It was actually that she gave him Earl Grey. And that's what sent him up. I like sleeping time.
So the first police car shows up, but had to wait for backup before being able to leave the vehicle.
We need her face unit.
We were face retrieval. Send the hand guy too.
Get the face clippers.
I think we need an ambulance or a shovel. Officer Frank Chiafari was the officer in Stanford he was an officer in Stanford for over 30 years and self-proclaimed animal lover. Was the first on the scene. He was working the 3 to 11 shift that day and had just got the call not long after his trip to Starbucks. So he's sipping his coffee, and they go.
So he's energized.
Well, they say this is the code. They go, hey, he goes, I guess it's some lady getting having trouble with her monkey, and they said it's a code 3. Code 3 means get there.
Mm.
That means like
fucking.
We're not gonna. We don't have
Double
time to
time
explain
it.
what's going on right now, but you need to get there now.
You might have to shoot a monkey.
So he goes.
It's so funny too, because like you'd be like, like whenever a cop has to shoot, whenever a cop shoots his weapon, they always give him like fucking therapy.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, there's been a handful of cops ever that have gotten in a gunfight with a chimp.
Right. Yeah. Like who is capable of handling this?
Yeah.
Who could like empathize with anybody at this scene? So
that's where you don't overthink it. You just come in, you're just like pow 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 pow, just taking the chip out.
So he's pulling. Well, this is like I said, he's a friend of the police.
Yeah.
They want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
They want to go like, look, lady, look, did you come here all bloody like that, or like what? Like, how do we know that he did this? We don't know. Like he's a friend of the squad.
You showed up with your face ripped off. You're lying.
Yeah, bitch. So Travis walks over, blood drenched, trying to open the passenger door and shaking the car violently.
Of the cop car?
He said it felt like he was in Jurassic Park. Like it was that like fucking. It was
wow.
like crazy. Like he said it was insane how much he was moving. He could feel how strong he was by how he's moving the car.
Yeah.
He's shaking the car violently until he comes over to the driver's side, knocking off the side mirror and eventually opening the door.
Ripping it off?
Hit the locks.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm pretty sure he could have done the and he would have been strong enough that instead of opening the door, you would have had a problem because you couldn't be able to open the door. He probably could have ripped the handle off.
Yeah.
But he's not breaking the glass. He doesn't know. He is an animal.
Yeah.
At this point, but he is still like.
Are they strong enough to break the glass?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. But he's still.
Yeah. What am I saying?
But he's thinking more practically because he knows how to drive fucking cars. So he's thinking, hey, motherfucker, either I'm taking this car or I'm gonna kill you.
He's like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's trying to escape. So he opened the door. So he locked eyes with the officer, which is crazy. And the guy was talking about, like he said, he's an animal lover. His first instinct when the ape was walking over, Travis was walking over.
Yeah.
He took his gun out and he was going to fire, but then he was like, no. He's like, he has a history with the animal.
Yeah.
He knows them. He had actually just seen them a week before.
Yeah.
In town. So
he's like buddies with buddies with Travis.
I'm telling you, this ape is friends with the whole like squad and shit.
Yeah.
He's like a town mascot kind of.
He's the town
And
ape.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that were probably like, what the fuck? But for the most part, everybody's like, yeah, it's fucking Travis. It's fun. He's been here this whole time. And to be honest, there has been little incident, at least reported.
Yeah.
And that's why I think is interesting to bring up the fact of the relationship with the monkey and the police. How much of this was, look, are you going to press charges against a fucking ape or what? Yeah, but she's got to get permit. Look, we got the new zoning laws. There's no incident here. Look, I'm going to let her know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We figured it out.
It's a lot of
Shut
that.
up.
I'm sure there was a lot of this of like, come on. He didn't even break the skin. Shut up. So Travis locked eyes with the officer.
And wait, he's in his driver's seat.
And he's doing
doors
this.
open.
The monkey was doing this, like, it comes around like a goddamn Universal Studios ride.
Yeah.
Opens the door. Like, it's like a stunt show. He's, like, ripping shit off,
Yeah.
like, opening shit up. Like, it's crazy.
Dude,
right?
what if he just, like, grabbed the back of the officer's head? You sucking this monkey's dick.
This is the weirdest thing because he does bring up a point in one of the officer himself. Like, this is what he says is, like, his last interview that he does. The one that he does with Barstool is
I'm
like,
so enthralled. What happened to him?
He
But
goes-
anyway, last interview.
No, he says like, I don't, like, when I locked eyes with him, he's like, I swear to God, and this is the only paranormal thing I'll say about anything ever. He's like, I felt like he was telling me, like, you have to, like, put me out of my misery. Like, that kind of thing. Because, like, he said, like, he opens the door. There's no reason why he couldn't have just taken care of him. He dealt with this lady instantly. There's no hesitation with him. It's not like it's a...
Oh, so he opens the door and just stares at the cop.
But then he raises his arms up and he snarls. Like, he is provoking. He's making a show
Yeah.
instead. He's trying to intimidate him instead of, like like attack him.
Yeah.
He doesn't like maybe because he is more familiar to him because he just saw him the other day. He hasn't made any changes to his appearance. Maybe he is familiar with him, and there is like this weird like.
And he told the cop, he's like, "Don't worry, I took a bunch of fentanyl. This won't be on you."
But he's like, I'm fucked up on Xanax right now, dude. She gave it to me.
Autopsy will come back. You'll get freed.
But the cop, dude, he fucking in that moment, he takes his pistol out and shoots. He says people tell him he fired 4 shots, but he says they're 45 slugs. He's like, and my gun's here, so it's right in front of my face. And I fire 4 shots into him. He said he doesn't even. He said he snarls one more time, and this is what was reported in real time from what I remember.
Yeah,
is that he made his way back to the house and died.
Yeah,
but in real life, in real moment, right, like the actual time, the monkey, he said, ran back to the house, but he said he just saw him run away. He didn't see him go into the house.
So he shot him point blank 4 times.
4 times,
and the monkey ran away.
But he snarled at him one more time, and then ran, booked it, and then.
Oh, so he could have finished the job on the police officer.
Yeah,
but it seemed like he chose not to.
Right, and he was obviously injured. The cop is in shock. There was a guy who was there. I don't know. It wasn't made super clear if it was a cop that pulled up not long after him.
Like, what was the time frame of when he got there?
There was another cop in his car that came around, but he said where he had fired the shots was like right in front of that guy. So he said he was bright white, not only seeing that possible attack, the scene, and that just coming out real time, but the shots were fired basically right at his feet.
Interesting.
So he just narrowly escapes any kind of danger, and so he doesn't notice where the monkey goes. So the lady's freaking out. She's in her car, hiding from the ape. The other lady's just laying faceless, handless on the ground. What should be the chimpanzee recovery unit comes in, but they're like the people with the automatic weapons and stuff, and they just start searching the woods because they think he's on the loose. They don't know. They don't think to go to the house. So in that time, they end up back. I think maybe somebody finds out, I believe the woman finds him in front of his cage.
Yeah.
Where he just stopped and passed away. So, Officer Chiafari, excuse me. That was the thing about the shock. So they begin searching the woods, finally make the discovery in the house. Charla was not killed by Travis, but suffered horrific injuries. So bad that the hospital staff had to receive counseling after treating her.
Oh, my God.
She lost her hands, her nose, her eyes, her lips, and her mid-face bone structure. The doctors were able to reattach her jaw, but could not save her sight, and she also suffered severe brain tissue damage. So, this is a weird thing. Charla, does not remember the attack.
Yeah.
But she goes on this fucking media tour, I guess, to remind her of every single fact that happens. Because how crazy would it be to wake up in that scenario in general? Wake up being mauled, not remembering it, but then having everybody ask you about it.
Well, and also, if people went up to you and was like, because you were saying, you were like, imagine waking up looking like that and not knowing why, and then it's like when people tell you, you'll be like,
okay,
that's very believable.
Can you make me not know why again?
You wouldn't have to do, I guess what I'm trying to say is you wouldn't have to do a lot of convincing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she has no memory of the attack, but she does the interviews, and she started a trust fund to help pay for her medical bills because she did. Now, this is a fun thing, too. She received experimental face and hand surgery, like replacement.
She's
surgery.
still alive?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah, I did not see anything.
I wonder if there's
about her.
Current pictures of her. Because what'd you say?
Not great. You know, you remember? We maybe overuse it for cover art. The movie Hannibal. Remember they got Yardell. Remember? You ever see that?
Oh no, I haven't seen Hannibal.
Hannibal is like Gary Oldman plays this character that Hannibal mutilated.
Yeah,
but didn't he kind of looks like a worm
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's
No,
kinda-
I've seen
It's very
pictures.
terrifying.
I've seen pictures of this lady.
Yeah.
Just not. I was like, I'm so curious. Currently, though, what I saw pictures of her like a year or two removed.
So she received experimental hand and face replacement surgery, and then I see and she also started this trust to help pay for her medical bills, and I was like, should you have to pay for experimental surgery? Like you're just gonna wing it? You're gonna try?
Just parts and labor.
yeah. It should be heavily discounted. Also, this is the one time ever you get this opportunity to try this on somebody.
Yeah.
So I will, let's just say, refer everybody that gets.
Yeah. If you're doing the surgery, you should kind of be like, dude, it's on us.
just
Don't
put
worry.
a logo down here, just like they do in like a soccer now. Just put like put an Emirates logo on my
Her
head.
jaw's sponsored by BioWare or whatever the fuck the company's called.
Crypto cash or whatever.
Every time she goes on Oprah, she's have to be like, sponsored by.
I just want to thank my sponsor,
Bro,
Liquid Death Vitamin Water.
there's a fucking steak ad on her nose. Oh God, dude.
So Charlotte has no memory of the attack, but yeah, that's good. So I like there was
That's good.
There's like an experienced detective that apparently spent like years in New York City and whatever. He's in Stamford, Connecticut. That like witnessed the scene, and I'm not joking. Every single person that saw this was like, this was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So we're getting into the PTSD and shit.
Yeah. So
how many people like needed counseling?
everybody, I'm telling you, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody received counseling. That like all the medical staff that the
It was so bad
team,
that Chimp killed himself.
yeah, a suicide by cop.
Yeah, he did suicide by cop.
You know what I mean? They're fucking crazy. But
He was like, "Yo, I am a lot. I'm sorry."
So this is more fun stuff. Chimpanzees.
The PTSD is the fun part.
Well, no, this will give you PTSD. Chimpanzees are often at least minimum 4 times stronger than any man, most men, and have more than double the fast twitch muscle fibers. Excuse me.
Okay, so they're 4 times as strong and twice as fast.
Right. And chimpanzees are there's over 700 chimpanzees still being kept in American homes at this point.
That's psychotic.
So 50 states, 700
That's
chimps. How would we split that up? Let's see.
Wait, 50 states, 700
I'll do
chimps
700 times 50
divided
or divided by 50. I knew that. I had the right one. 14. So there's 14 chimps in your area right now. Even you,
Damn.
Alaska. There's no way there's 14 in Alaska.
Bro,
We
and
got a
you
double,
know,
where there's double in San Francisco.
no, you know it's like electoral college where like California gets a bunch more votes.
all the
You
coastal
know,
one.
bro, you know there's a couple here in Texas.
Well, I'm thinking rural for sure because there's
Yeah.
lots of farm. And
Yeah,
there's lots,
yeah.
There's lots of like sanctuaries, I'm sure, but there's also like that wasn't sanctuaries that were being. And speaking to PTSD, if I may,
yeah.
there is a wonderful composition made by Suicide Silence in 2009.
Yeah, I remember when you turned me on to this.
A song that is not on Spotify. I tried to find.
Oh, really? They took it off?
Or not on not on Instagram. I couldn't use it on my because I wanted to use it in my stories.
Oh, it's on Instagram.
It's not available. So, some of the songs from that album are, but not that one. I don't know why. But it's a song called Double Ellipses and Then She Bled, which is an instrumental song, except for the fact of the track. I think it's a 9-minute song that is the entirety.
Dude,
of the
I remember
911
when you
call.
sent that to me because
Yep.
you told me what was going on with it, and I
Yeah.
listened to it. And I'm sorry, I cut you off. It's
No,
the
no.
entirety of her the 911 call.
Like all the from her being on the phone, because they kept her on the phone the entire time, or she at least had the phone on the entire time when the cops pulled up. She told him, "Don't get out of your car." She said, "You have to shoot him, shoot him!" And like she's screaming, and it is equally as brilliant as it is bone chilling.
Yeah.
Every fact about this is absolutely bone chilling. Like there's no real.
Yeah, and then and then I was like, I remember listening to it, and so I have it up here.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's 9, but it's 4 minutes.
Okay.
Most songs get the fuck out of there by 2.5, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
This is a song of just a 911 call of a chimp attack.
The whole time.
The whole time. And I remember listening to it and I go,
Feels like 9 minutes.
I remember, dude, it really does, because when you said 9, I didn't debate it, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it wasn't 9.
It's terrifying,
dude. And when you listen to it, you'll listen to it to just be like, is it still going?
Exactly. And you hear the chimp screaming in the background. You hear her screaming, obviously, her having a fucking crazy, obviously very understandable meltdown. She's like, shoot him. She like turns into Vince McMahon. Like, you gotta shoot him. You gotta shoot him.
He turned to the chimp and he's like, you're fired.
But the cop has no memory. He's like, also, he gets that, he gets the like actual like combat PTSD as well, because it's like the shooting of 45 in front of your face in a car that's except mostly closed except for one door.
So loud.
Also, hit them locks, people. You never know when an ape might scream at you with a lady's blood all over your face, and just it's nuts, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me. So
So you said that. Okay, so let me. Yeah. Her friend. You said her friend was there. I forgot what you said. So
it was just Charla and Sandra.
So she was. It's not like she showed up to her friend getting fucked up. She was there while she was getting fucked up.
This is the worst part, Andy. She called her over. She said, "Come over here and get this fucking Travis guy. He'll listen to you."
Oh, he was acting up.
Yeah, he was acting up, and she called her to come help.
So
she's 70 years old, and he stole her keys and was running around with them.
Oh, that's right.
She was afraid
about that part.
He would take the car.
So Charlotte saw it, the cop saw it, and then there was another cop after that cop, right?
Yeah, well, eventually, there's a lot out of that.
Oh, yeah, and then eventually, I more mean on the initial thing, and then...
that was not clear, but the first car, so there was obviously one officer that came, and this is a relatively sleepy town. Like, this is a kind of like...
Well, that's
not like... They don't deal with a lot.
Like, you know what
I mean, like that.
That's what, that's the most interesting part, one of the most interesting parts about the fucking... Boston bombing.
Yeah.
Because I remember I watched the Netflix doc and I never knew about this, but like they were chasing him down because they like stole a car or something. Oh no, they attacked this Asian student at the college to like get money out of him or something. Yeah. And then they found that dude, ratted him out. They found the car, chased him to this like sleepy town, and they're just like, dude, they just have the whole force of, like, the fucking FBI or whatever with all their guns and shit. And the Boston bomber guys are literally, like, throwing grenades and shit. Yeah. And all this stuff. And the town's like, the fuck's going on? Yeah. There's, like, all these people who were just, like, chilling for the night. And now their whole house is full of bullets.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's got to be an insane thing to the chimp attack's got to be an insane thing to hit the town. So you have the hospital staff who, yeah, dude, imagine your surgery being so rough, it forces like I was thinking about that where I was hearing that, because that's got to be fucking nuts, because you just deal with, like, I was listening to this doctor talk about having to do open heart surgery on like a day-old baby, and I go, where do you, like, how do you get yourself where
do you practice that? Where's the open mics for that?
Dude, like, literally, like, the other day, like you can't help but compare yourself to it, but, like, the other day I'm driving around, and I fucking look at my phone like an idiot, and my car starts, thank God I have, like, the front protection, whatever fuck, the front-facing camera on the car, and it starts beeping, and I realize, I'm like, oh, I'm being an idiot, slam on the brakes.
Yeah.
That, like, sat with me for a while after that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, even if you do successful open heart surgery on a fucking baby, how much, like, people don't think about, like, how insane it is just to be a surgeon, just in general.
Yeah.
Like,
your
even
hands are inside people all
like,
day.
even the most minimal whoopsie daisy, like, you leave a I guess it's not minimal, but on compared to all these other things, on the low grade version of it, like, oh, what if you, like, leave a foreign object in their body? Like, you could like accidentally poison someone doing that or something like that.
That's the thing with Charlotte's surgery, right? So she's paying for these experimental surgeries, but she ends up losing, her hands get infected and she loses her hands again. Like, she doesn't get to keep, like,
that's what I was gonna.
It's not a for sure thing. Like,
no.
the face obviously takes, apparently, I guess.
Well,
But
that's the thing about. That's why a lot of women have trouble with breast implants. Is because, like, dude, like, you're putting a foreign object in your
Yeah.
body,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's your body's natural tendency to reject that.
Yeah,
And so wait, what did they do with it? So did the chimp rip her hands off or just mutilate them?
ripped the hands off. Like,
So she just had no hands.
so I don't. Yeah, she was handless until the surgery. I don't know how they spaced it out, but I know that there was 2 different face transplant surgeries around this time. There was like they had just gotten them thing, and they're like, "Holy shit! Now we got a waiting list. Like already, we have these 2 people that were like, they were planning for horrific face trauma, like." Recovery before as this were like these 2 cases were happening. I can't remember what the other case was, but like her hand surgery, same idea as like they've tried that before with limb reattachment. I don't know if they were her hands or if they were donor hands possibly, and I'm assuming that. But either way, she got an infection and they ended up having to amputate her hands again.
So she could use her hands?
I don't think so. I think that was essentially it. Was they just were unsuccessful in reattaching her hands or attaching hands,
like reconnecting the nerves and shit.
because they were. I mean,
so
they
her
were,
hands could move.
It was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it wasn't just degloved. That's the thing is like I'm sure everybody listens to fucking Joe Rogan. They've been explained ape attacks plenty of times, but yes, genitals, hands, eyes, face, and then. Like they're not in it for food. They're not eating you. They will eat your face. I think. Oh, was it the zombie guy in Miami? I think that was the other one. Nope, that guy died. Never mind. I think it wasn't the person that he was. It was a homeless guy. Took bath salts and ended up. Everybody thought he was a zombie. Remember?
Yeah.
He was chewing on that guy's face. We should do that story too. That's a fun one. But yep, that's Travis the Chimp. He is honestly, like aside from maybe a bite here, we don't know. I would love to get into those records to find out if there were any kind of incidents that were just put off as like.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because that's like they do it all the time with school shooters where they'll be like, we never could have seen this coming, and then you do a little bit of a deep dive into them, and you're like. Maybe school shooting was a lot, but the kid was fucking weird.
And knowing the possible, ape and human genetics are very close.
Yeah.
So, that could be something, maybe that was a for sure don't ever give them Xanax thing.
Yeah.
But also, if that can also happen in humans, definitely don't give it to the super strong.
Yeah, dude. Animal people are very interesting, and I don't mean just the simple cat or dog people. I'm talking about the people who want to get the extra thing, the extra fun animals.
Yeah, yeah.
It is always fascinating.
Oh, he loves me.
It is also fascinating, yes, with that kind of shit where it's like they fucking understand animals like it's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It is this because all those people are labeled as granola, gentle hippie types, and you do got to realize your naivete creates an immense amount of danger for everyone around you.
Yeah.
It's like the irony of the situation because they're always labeled as such I just love nature and animals, and it's like I don't know.
It's a lot of personal freedoms until it comes a public problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's just that
was really good.
I think it's just what was good.
There's a lot of personal freedoms until they become public problems. I should be running for office.
Well, I think it's just a thing of first off, everyone should approach this by going I don't even think zoos should have them. They don't look like they're having a fucking good time in there. Just leave animals in their fucking natural habitat. We need to acknowledge the ones that are not fucking domesticated. And if you need to have one, don't fucking treat them like they're your little kid. You gotta have them in the proper facility.
Yeah, you can't tame the wild beast necessarily. You can't actually ever have even the understanding of it. Just understand that anytime you see when somebody's you see, holy shit, how did they get those dolphins to do that? It's usually torture, or starvation or something like that. And if you think that they're friends, they're lying. It's just lying. Siegfried and Roy. Now, this is a case where this one and Grizzly Man, both of those are it's situations where I'd go like
Honky's getting lucky.
very, very lucky for a very long time. I mean, they like this is a record to say like you had very little real incident with this.
Yeah.
So, and it could have been maybe she had given him Xanax before and it was successful, but I would have to assume probably not. And this was a swing and a miss. Or this was also a thing maybe last time it was just hallucinations and he was just, I'm assuming if he was dealing with any one of those symptoms would cause him to do that. So unfortunately, and this is usually the case, except for the Siegfried and Roy thing or Grizzly Man, where it's like the person who thinks that they can harness the thing is taken down.
Yeah.
This lady thought she could harness it, and she was like, I'll just give him some fucking drugs, some narcotics. He'll be cool. Okay. And I don't know if she warned the lady. That's the other thing is Sandra ends up passing away not long after this incident.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I'm sure not the people with the lawsuits, were saying it's a relief because of all the legal, all the hate mail she was receiving, all the people that were like, you dumb cunt, what is wrong with you? Why would you do this? But like, again, Charlotte can't be mad apparently, or isn't. Like she had brain tissue damage, facial reconstruction, like all this.
Yeah, I think this is like, I think shit like this happens as a result of, you ever hear it's like that, it's one of those many cornball things you hear, but you're like, there's something to it, where it's like hard times make
soft men.
Soft times make soft guys, and you get really hard, and
when you see guys.
when it's hard, when it's time to get hard, you're in a hard guy, and whatever the fucking thing is.
Anytime I'm hard, I'm in a guy.
But yeah, whatever. I forget how
something
it goes.
Like
it's something like that. I could really find myself hard in a guy. Whatever that fucking phrase is. I do think there's something to it. It's like a result of we figured out a lot of these struggles in life, and we figured out you don't see poor people doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This type of behavior comes from some level of comfort where you're like, what if I just owned a chimp?
Yeah.
Because you don't it's like, it's the same way I feel about people skydiving. I go, brother, that's just you not appreciating modern commodities and like what we've. Like, it's just you ignoring all the struggle the human race has gone through, and they've made it so comfortable for you right now. So what are you going to do? You're going to take all that hard work and go jump out of a plane.
Yeah, when was the last time you had fresh macaroni and cheese and really appreciated it?
What?
It's so good.
What?
Like simple pleasures in life.
Yeah.
If you can't just appreciate being alive, existing in general.
Well, that's like
that's the point.
And he talks about this publicly, so I'm not like revealing any scandalous secrets about Robbie the Fire Bernstein, but he always talks about how he's like he tries to never turn on the AC or the heat in his apartment because he wants to like train himself if he's ever somewhere else that he's always comfortable. And I just go, Robbie, you're spitting in the face of all the hard work men have done to give us. I don't like it either. I love Robbie to death. I'll fucking bite a lady's
Did
face
you pull
off.
that shit in the car when you're driving around?
No, not in the car.
Yeah, fuck that. Oh, so in the car you want to fucking be like a human being?
Well, Andy's here. He knows I'm sweating.
Yeah.
So like,
I took that really personal. I was just like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?"
No, I love Robbie to death. I remember when he told me that. I go,
"We're not friends anymore."
"Go, Robbie, don't do that."
Yeah.
Don't
do that.
I go, Rob, turn the AC on.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're just looking at all the achievements of modern man and saying, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. I'm like stunned by that.
That's all my friends, though. Smart, brilliant people. And then 5% of the time you go, what the fuck, dude?
What's my 5%?
What's your 5%?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of don't want to tell you.
Damn.
I kind of want to just let it happen.
All right.
Because then you might not do that 5%.
Yeah, I probably won't. No, if it's a true 5%, it's going to be there no matter what, I think. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm just changing exactly everything that I am right now.
See, and that's what's beautiful about you is you go, what's my 5? Get out of it. You don't think you have a 5%.
I don't think I have a 5%.
That's why you have a 5%.
I think I have a 15%.
That's why you have a. That's why you have a. Oh, you think it's 15?
It's a little. You got to bump it up a little bit. I think.
Well, that's when I was like. That's when I had to come to terms with like my anger problem. I was always just like, no, I don't have an anger problem. You're all fucking retarded.
It's all you guys.
And then it was like, all right, I'm on the 1,000th person to be like, whoa, Andy, and I'm like, I know this is how I know I have an anger problem because to this day, in my heart of hearts, I could pass a lie detector and be like, no, I don't have an anger problem. That's how I know I have an anger problem. What?
You're a sociopath.
What are you gonna do?
Hey, you're
nah, dude. Kids today are just soft.
Yeah. Hard kids. Wait.
I don't have an anger. No, Pat.
Huh?
I'd rather you say racist things because of the month, not that.
I can't believe. You know what? Can I just be
hard kid? You almost said hard kids.
I did say hard kids.
I know.
Hard kids.
Clip it.
Are not my favorite.
Wait, but that's so open ended, man.
Right, that's why I like it. It keeps the mystery going. No, I think the thing that the fact that people even made that connection in general speaks more to them than us.
Yeah. Or, you heard our dog whistle.
DAWG.
Yes, to quote panties. But yeah, this was fun. I'm excited. You don't have to reveal the whole thing. Do you have an animal picked out for next week?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it's multicultural.
Ooh.
So fuck off.
So fuck you.
Actually, you know what? All of these are white people. That's why you know that.
Well, that's what, dude.
That's why I'm saying, like, I didn't get that. Like, that's why I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And, because
no, I
come on.
genuinely too, like, there will be certain things that like people will make fun of. Like, I think I see it online all the time. People will say that's some white people shit, and they're really just saying that's corny.
Yeah.
And I go, well, you can't just say it everything that sucks ass.
Animal Attacks Month could not be more white people.
Yeah.
That's
Animal Attacks, that's some white people shit.
I think black people should watch this because it's us talking about white people being brutally mauled by animals.
Yeah. That's the service we're doing for Black History Month.
Yeah.
Is keeping you safe around these honkies.
Yeah. And, provide this service like this, and it's not going appreciated. You know what?
We can link this to the Apollo thing. They'll be like,
oh,
black.
I was like, Apollo? The theater?
No.
No.
No, you remember Whitey on the moon?
Yeah.
Be like, black people in the streets hungry, but Whitey owning chimps.
Yeah, you could update that poem.
But Whitey fighting chimps.
We dying from fentanyl. And white people slanging tigers.
White people owning chimps.
Lots of tigers. A lot of white people owning tigers.
Oh, well, that was the other thing that dude, the second season of Tiger King got me so much more. Like, the first season was fun because it was just about Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
And then the big thing the second season was like, oh, did you think Joe Exotic was the only guy that did this?
When they introduced the zoo whack pack.
It's actually a lot of people in this country do this.
This guy's a swinger.
Yeah. There's actually a bunch of these zoos.
By the way, all these wonderful tiger owners are also huge perverts. Every one of them.
What if every tiger owner had Ed Hardy energy? Do you feel safe? All right. Thanks for watching.